A bill in the state of Indiana was just introduced that would allow the selling of venison starting this year in 2025. This is kind of a big deal. Excluding Vermont, I mean, the selling of wild game across the United States of America has been illegal for a long time. Now, there's tons of rules, laws when it comes to the commercial use of wild game, but man, it's been a minute since your neighbor Ned could just go to the market and try to sell his deer that he shot last week. Which gets me thinking a couple of questions. When was the last time it was legal to sell wild game? And why did the selling of wild game become illegal in the first place? How is this new bill that's being introduced supposed to make me feel? Am I supposed to be excited? Am I supposed to be concerned? I don't know. I'm going to try to answer all these questions in this video, but before I do, would you please just drop it in the comments? How do you feel about this? Whether you're from Indiana or not, what if your state was introducing this bill? How would you feel? What's your gut reaction to this? What are your thoughts and opinions when it comes to the selling of wild game? I'm truly interested to know what you guys think about this topic. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it. Personally, if you've watched my channel, you know I love to hunt. I have to shoot around 4 deer a year to feed my family. Now, could I go to the supermarket and just buy ground beef? Yeah, of course I could. My family loves venison. I love venison, my wife loves venison, my kids love venison. So we try to eat venison all year long. And it always makes my grandma happy every time I shoot a deer because that's less deer in her garden. Which got me thinking about what my grandpa used to say. I remember he used to talk about a time when he was younger where they never saw deer. He said the white-tailed deer was just never around. And people would talk about seeing them and it was kind of like, nah, you didn't really see one. I mean, they were that rare, which is crazy to think about now, today. But there was a point in time in the United States of America where the white-tailed deer was almost completely wiped out. In the early 1900s, there were thought to be less than 500,000 deer in North America. That's not a lot. The white-tailed deer was so heavily hunted and sought after because it was valuable. The fur, the venison, the meat, to be traded, to be sold, it was valuable. And because of that, they were overhunted, almost to a point of extinction. Then came the Lacey Act of 1900. This law was originally passed to protect wild game birds from being overhunted, but then was expanded to include all wild game and made it illegal to sell, trade, and distribute across the state borders. President Theodore Roosevelt, a hunter himself, knew the utmost importance of conservation of wildlife. He was widely considered the conservationist president who significantly expanded the national park system and helped carry out the Lacey Act of 1900. The deer population had hit an all-time low and they stopped hunting them. However, was it too late? On December 27, 1934, the Times News out of Putnam County ran the headline, "Deer Seen in the State." A deer had been seen in 3 sections of the state according to reports from game wardens. By 1939, reports of white-tailed deer sightings in wooded sections of southern Indiana were making the papers. At that time, the herd was estimated to be around 200 whitetail. By 1943, the deer population was estimated to be around 900. The deer population was starting to roar back. However, the farmers were starting to become angry. They were threatening to shoot the deer because all the damages that were being done to their crops. By 1951, there was thought to be around 5,000 white-tailed deer, and this finally allowed for the first deer season in 58 years in the state of Indiana. Now, fast forward to today, Indiana's deer population is around 700,000. And each year, about 100,000 deer are harvested by hunters. In 2024, 170,000 deer were harvested, and that was a 7% increase since 2023. So back to this bill. What's the purpose of it? Why are we allowing the selling of wild game if we know the history and what happened? Well, there was a study done by the University of Purdue that said deer vehicle accidents and deer-related crop damages result in an annual losses in Indiana approaching $40 million. That's a lot of money. So is this bill the state's attempt to lower deer population to make insurance agencies and farmers happy? If this bill is passed, there will be a significant increase in deer harvested this next season. I really do believe that. There seems to be a homestead movement, right? I don't know. I just see it on social media where it's popular now to buy chickens and do sourdough and do all these things. And don't get me wrong, all those things are great. But you can also see where the harvesting of wild game and being able to market that and sell that, yeah, I think that would be popular as well. So what are my thoughts with all of this? I have a couple different reactions. My first gut reaction is, I don't know if I like it. There's something about this, especially given the history of conservation, it just feels weird. There's another aspect of, I know how I clean and process my animals and enjoy to eat them. And then I also have seen other people clean and process their wild game. And I don't know if I'd eat it, if you know what I'm saying. But then I also have another reaction and thought and opinion. I'll just share that and get a little personal with you guys. I'm a family pastor. And so our household has one income, it's me. And on the side, I try to do a business with videography and photography and make a little extra income on the side. My wife used to teach, but she now stays home and homeschools our children. So when I get the opportunity to make extra funds, I do, but sometimes it's not always there. And hearing this, a possible opportunity to harvest more deer and sell them, I mean, yeah, that does interest me a little bit. That could really benefit my family financially. I mean, what does a pound of ground beef go for these days? Like $6? You think venison wouldn't go more than that? And you shoot a couple deer, how many pounds of ground venison could you get? And selling that at, who knows, $8, $9, $10 a pound? That could be some good money. The backstrap on a deer, oh my. I mean, valuable. That's good meat. So there's a couple thoughts that I have. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this right now. I'm kind of torn. All right, so sorry for the hard cut to another scene, another location. It's the next day, and I wanted to record. I had another thought while I was thinking more about this topic. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Sorry, I'm not inside. The kids and the wife's inside. It's kind of loud, so I thought I'd bring it outside. But my thought is, how many deer are donated every year to feed the hungry, you know? And so tons of people who love to hunt but don't eat the meat donate it every year to different organizations to give food out to the hungry, to feed the hungry. If we start selling venison, it only makes sense in my mind that there would be less food and meat distributed among those people who need to be fed that are hungry, right? You either eat your deer, you either eat your venison, or you donate it. Those are your options. So if there's a third option of selling your deer, well, I have a feeling that more people will pick that option, and that means that there would be less meat for those that need it for feeding the hungry. So that's just another con. That's another negative that I'm thinking about this. I don't know. I've been going back and forth, but not really. This seems like not a good thing, but maybe I'm missing something. So drop it in the comments below. Let me know, what are your thoughts? What are you really thinking when it comes to this bill? I've kind of shared some of my thoughts to you. I don't think this bill gets passed. I really don't. I think this is the way of the state saying, hey, we have a deer problem. Farmers aren't happy. Insurance agencies aren't happy. We got to do something. So this is their one of the, I don't know. I think there's a lot of other options out there that are better. Like, how about just lower the costs for deer hunting and tags and licenses, make it financially a better option for families and hunters? What are your ideas? What are your solutions to help with this issue? Thanks for sticking around this long on the video. If you're still here with us, hit that like button, that bell notification, subscribe if you haven't already, join the channel, and that way you can see some more content. You might see content popping up around me, around my head right now. So feel free to watch any of those if you haven't. But until next time, God bless. Have a great week.